Welcome back to the SportsMax zone. We turn our attention to football. With 3 days to go until the start of the Copa America in Brazil, there is still uncertainty over whether the tournament will be held. Early on Thursday, the 11 members of Brazil's Supreme Court held an extraordinary virtual session where they heard 3 requests to block the staging of the tournament. The National Metal Workers Union, the Brazilian Socialist Party, and the Workers' Party of former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva brought the cases to the Supreme Court. The entities are contending that Brazil should not be hosting the tournament, given that the COVID-19 situation in the country is still out of control. So, George and Lance, of course, this is actually some really big news. We are only 3 days away from Copa America, and this is the sort of response we're getting. Lance, where do you sit on this?
Well, you know, I understand how the Brazilians feel, and there are huge elements in the Brazilian society that feel uncomfortable about, you know, the sudden shift to Brazil, given the state of COVID-19 issues in the country. And we have to say that that is a very reasonable concern. And the fact that the players themselves were very upset about, you know, the tournament being suddenly, you know, hoisted on them also tells a story of discomfort. The Brazilians held a press conference, the players, and grudgingly agreed to play. They said they will play, but they are very unhappy about playing. I'm not sure if at this stage there could be a U-turn, because I think the tournament is well and truly on. But you know, there are some factions in Brazil who are working hard to make sure it doesn't happen. So I guess the next couple of days will be crucial.
George, the Supreme Court?
Yeah, I'm surprised, and not many of these things surprise me, but I can't recall a situation where a host nation, whatever the circumstances are that nation finds itself in the position of host, that there are factions or interest groups within that nation that goes to the highest court in the land seeking to block the country from hosting the situation. But then again, I've never been alive in a pandemic, neither of any of us before, to see and compare what happened in certain situations. And this is unprecedented. I wonder, look, the stakes are too high. The embarrassment for the country is too much. I don't think, not that those things have anything to do with law, because the judge has to only go on the strength, or the justices have to go on the strength of what is presented in front of them. But we know that people listen to other people, and people may influence the justices to say, look, there's so much at stake here, you may want to rule in a certain way. And again, that just sounds bad coming from, because I'm suggesting that the justices are corruptible, which I have no evidence that they are, and justices must be assumed to be incorruptible. But what I'm saying is this situation is grave, and the fact that they've gone to court is a serious matter, and I'm not confident to call it either way, as I usually am. I don't know if it will happen or it will kick off as scheduled, because this is an unprecedented move. It's a massive move, and anything can happen. Any number can play from here.
Definitely. Well, as we continue to build up to the tournament, today we focus on 14-time champions Argentina.
Argentina entered the 2021 Copa America tournament in Brazil as one of the favorites. This football crazy nation, currently ranked 8th by FIFA, is one of 3 heavyweights on the South American continent. Along with being 2-time world champions, Argentina is one of Copa America's most successful teams, contesting a record 28 finals. Of those 28 finals, they've won 14, with the most recent title coming all the way back in 1993. Now, since then, Argentina have been to 4 finals, losing them all, with the most recent defeat coming in the tournament's centenary celebration in 2016. Albiceleste's quest to end their 28-year title drought appeared to have been boosted when they were named as co-hosts for this year's edition, but those expectations have been slightly slashed as they had to relinquish the rights due to COVID-19 concerns. They find themselves in Group A with Chile, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Uruguay, a legitimate contender for the title. Out of both groups, Group A contained the most combined Copa America titles with 34. Argentina is being guided by Lionel Scaloni, who took over the duties full-time in November 2018. During this time, the 43-year-old guided Argentina to a third-place finish in the 2019 tournament in Brazil. Scaloni knows their strength lies in their attacking line. Leading the attack for him will be captain Lionel Messi, arguably the greatest player to have played the game. The 33-year-old topped the goal-scoring chart in La Liga for the 8th time, scoring 9 goals in his last 10 matches as Barcelona made a late-season title push. Messi is Argentina's leading goal scorer, and he holds several Copa America records, including most assists and most man-of-the-match awards. Argentina lifting the Copa America trophy for a record-equaling 15th time will be heavily dependent on how Messi performs. Supporting Messi in attack will be the 23-year-old Lautaro Martinez, who plays as a striker for Serie A champions Inter Milan. Martinez is a dynamic, quick, agile and technically gifted player. A prolific goal scorer, his 17th, Martinez is also a highly creative and hard-working player who is capable of assisting goals and playing as a second striker. 33-year-old winger Angel Di Maria is another player Argentina will be depending on heavily to lift the Copa America. Di Maria is an agile, creative and highly technical player who possesses excellent dribbling skills and ball control, which allows him to beat players easily in one-on-one situations. Since making his debut in 2008, Di Maria has gone on to represent Argentina in 105 caps, scoring 20 goals. Gifted with excellent vision, set-piece delivery and crossing ability, Di Maria at times functions effectively as a playmaker and as an assist provider. Testament to his 11 assists for Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1 this past season. Argentina kick off their Copa America campaign against Chile on Tuesday.
So, of course, Argentina is set to play Chile on Tuesday, George and Lance. And, you know, we can only judge by what we've seen so far. And, of course, I'd have to draw on the South American World Cup qualifiers, where they drew with Colombia in their last match. And, of course, they stand second on the standings. Based on what we've been seeing, can Argentina win this Copa?
They can. Will they? No.
Why not?
The team, it lacks the... It's not a team that... if the game turns into a dog fight, that they can dig out a victory. They've shown that over successive years in major finals, that when it's a battle, and it's a battle of will, they don't have that willpower. And the reason that they have gotten to those finals in the first place is because of the effervescence and the almost supernatural ability of one Lionel Messi. And we all know that power, that ability has waned over time. So he's not at the level where he can even take them to the final just by being Messi, just by being out there on the field. And then even with him in his prime, they still didn't have the steely will to win that you must have to win any tournament kind of competition. So a diminished Messi, I don't know how deep they're going to go into the tournament, but I'm certainly not expecting Argentina to win the Copa for those reasons.
Lance, is George onto something?
Well, it's hard to fancy them to win here because I thought they probably had stronger chances to win in the previous two tournaments and did not. Well, they were runners-up 2 of the last 3 tournaments. So I think they're going to be prominent, but to back them to win, I don't think I would bet on them. They are doing reasonably well in the South American qualifiers at the moment, undefeated from 6 matches with 3 wins. So they are going to be a force, but to bet on them to win the tournament, I think I'd have to side with George. It's got to be hard to back them. I'm very eager to see how Martinez performs after a good Serie A season. And I think he's a player with quality. And part of the problem for Argentina is that their front men haven't been finishing unless Messi gets in and scores. We know the sort of pressure that players like Higuain had come under with missing goals and so on. So if Martinez can get a lot of those goals that Messi would want to assist on, maybe they could do well in the tournament. But I wouldn't bet on them to win, primarily because Brazil look to be the team to beat.
Well, let's talk a bit about the group that Argentina is drawn in. Of course, they have to face Uruguay, they have to face Chile. How does that look for them? A bit negative?
No, this group is a tough group because the Uruguay... Well, you know what, let me revise that. The big teams in this group, Argentina, Uruguay and Chile, suffer from the same thing. Their stars are old. Their stars are effectively either at the borderline between their best and being past their best.
You like to say washed up. Washed up?
No, not quite. Not quite. They can still cut the mustard. So, yeah, it's a group they should get out of, but I don't know how far they're going to go after that.
All right, well, we're up on a break, but remember the Copa America lives on your home of champions, so don't miss a minute of the action. We'll be back.